Alexandra Eala shares her opinion on the large number of Filipino fans she has at every tournament. Alexandra Eala will be looking to bounce back at the Dubai Tennis Championships after a disappointing start to the WTA 1000 series. Eala crashed out in the first round of the Qatar Open earlier this week, losing to Teresa Valentova in straight sets. The Filipino star has won 7 matches so far this season and lost 5, with a semi-final finish at the ASB Classic and quarter-final exits in Manila and Abu Dhabi. She went out in the first round of the Australian Open, and again at the first WTA 1000 event of the year in Doha. The second WTA 1000 competition of 2026 is now upon Eala in Dubai, where there is strong Filipino support. Alexandra Eala discusses her huge fan base on the WTA Tour. At 20 years of age, Eala already has a bigger fan base than most stars on the WTA Tour, and the noise made in the stands during her matches at every tournament is noticeably different compared to others. As per Gulf News, Eala said of her fans, "It means a lot. It makes me feel at home even though I'm traveling so many weeks of the year. I think this feeling is reciprocated for a lot of the Filipinos who are out here. I know there's a huge population of them here in the Middle East. I think it means a lot for people to see themselves in other people, and that's what makes this so special." Alexandra Eala's first opponent at the Dubai Tennis Championships. Eala's first-round opponent at the Dubai Tennis Championships comes in the form of American star Hailey Baptiste. The two have clashed just once before on the WTA Tour, which came on the grass courts of Eastbourne last year. There, in qualifying, Eala came back from a set down to open her account in the rivalry, winning 6-7, 7-6, 6-1. Eala and Baptiste will now do battle for the first time on a hard court, as both women continue their pursuit of a maiden WTA 1000 title. Alexandra Eala shares her thoughts on the wave of Filipino support at every tournament. At just 18 years old, Alexandra Eala has grown accustomed to something that many athletes spend entire careers chasing: a devoted, passionate fan base that follows her wherever she competes. From the hard courts of Europe to the humid stadiums of Southeast Asia, one constant presence surrounds her: the unmistakable energy of Filipino supporters waving flags, wearing blue, red, and yellow, and chanting her name with pride. For Eala, the experience is both humbling and deeply personal. "I never feel alone," she once shared in an interview. "Even when I'm halfway around the world, there's always someone in the stands holding a Philippine flag. A flag that travels." Tennis is often described as one of the loneliest sports. Players travel week after week, competing in different time zones, adjusting to new surfaces, and carrying the emotional weight of individual performance. Unlike team sports, there is no bench to lean on during difficult moments. There is only the player, the racket, and the court. Yet for Eala, the solitude is softened by a sea of familiar colors. Whether she is competing in a junior Grand Slam or stepping onto the main tour stage, Filipino fans often appear in surprising numbers. Overseas workers, international students, expatriate families, they make the effort to show up, sometimes traveling hours just to watch her play a single match. Eala says she notices them immediately. "The flag stands out," she explains. "And when I hear someone shout, 'Laban Alex,' it gives me that extra push." Laban, meaning fight, is more than just a word. It carries cultural weight, a call to resilience, to courage, to perseverance. Hearing it in high-pressure moments reminds her of where she comes from and why she plays. Pride beyond the baseline. The Philippines is not traditionally known as a tennis powerhouse. In a country where basketball dominates the sporting landscape, Eala's rise has represented something different: a breakthrough into a global sport where Filipino representation has been limited. She understands the symbolism. "I know that for many people back home, I'm not just playing for myself," Eala reflects. "I'm playing for the country." That awareness does not come with pressure alone. It comes with pride. Growing up training at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Eala spent much of her formative years far from Manila. Yet even in Spain, she remained rooted in her identity. She carried Filipino food cravings, family traditions, and the language she grew up speaking. When she won the girls' singles title at the U.S. Open Junior Tournament in 2022, She held the Philippine flag high. It was a moment that resonated far beyond the tennis community. Social media in the Philippines exploded with celebration. News outlets ran headlines calling her a national inspiration. Eala remembers that day vividly. "I felt like I could hear the Philippines cheering from across the ocean," she says. The sound of home. Filipino fans are known globally for their warmth and enthusiasm. Whether in boxing arenas supporting Manny Pacquiao or in international beauty pageants, their cheers are loud, coordinated, and heartfelt. Tennis tournaments are no exception. Eala laughs when asked about the noise level. "They're not quiet," she says with a smile. "But I love it." Tennis etiquette typically encourages silence during points, yet the applause between rallies often carries a distinct Filipino flavor when she plays. Small flags wave. Groups coordinate chants. Sometimes entire sections of the crowd suddenly reveal themselves as kababayans, fellow countrymen, after spotting each other across the stands. For Eala, those moments create a unique atmosphere. "It feels like a mini home court," she explains. "Even in places I've never been before." The familiarity grounds her. Competing internationally can feel overwhelming, especially for a young athlete navigating media expectations and ranking pressures. But the presence of supporters who speak her language and share her heritage creates emotional stability. Gratitude and responsibility. Eala often speaks about gratitude. She understands that many of her fans wake up at odd hours to watch live streams due to time differences. Some save money just to attend a tournament stop in their region. Others follow every update online, celebrating victories and offering encouragement after defeats. "I read messages when I can," she says. The support is incredible. However, she is careful to maintain balance. She recognizes that fan enthusiasm, while empowering, can also amplify expectations. Each match becomes more than a personal challenge. It becomes a shared emotional investment. "There are days when I lose and I feel like I've let people down," she admits. "But I'm learning that growth takes time." Her maturity shines in these reflections. Rather than feeling overwhelmed, she channels the support into motivation. "I want young Filipino kids to see that it's possible," she says. "If they see me out here competing, maybe they'll believe they can do it too." Representation on a global stage. The global tennis circuit spans cities like Paris, Melbourne, New York, and London, epicenters of sporting history. For a Filipino athlete to step confidently into these arenas carries symbolic power. Eala's participation in major tournaments introduces a new narrative, one where Southeast Asian athletes claim space in traditionally Western-dominated competitions. Her fans recognize this significance. When they show up in numbers, they are not just cheering for points.